Can a set of intermediate tyres last the entire race in the F1 2021 game? So this video idea then was inspired by the Turkish Grand Prix a few weeks ago, where Lewis Hamilton very nearly did the whole race on a single set of inters, and Ocon actually did do the whole race on a set of inters. So I thought, I wonder if that's possible in the F1 game. I'm pretty sure the tyres won't get rid of their grooves and become slicks. I'm pretty sure they will just get worse and worse and eventually get a puncture, I guess. I don't really know. Unfortunately, the Turkish Grand Prix, the Istanbul circuit, is not available on the F1 2021 game. So we're going to do it around Brazil, which is often a circuit that's raining as well. So let's give this a go and see how long the inters can last. There we go, and this is actually my first ever 100% race on F1 2021. Normally I don't go longer than 50%. We're going to do, of course, a wet weather race. We've got it raining for the first 3 quarters of the race. The last quarter, we've told it to kind of dry up, but still be quite overcast. So hopefully that'll provide similar sort of conditions that we saw in Istanbul. Everything else is going to be, I mean, we'll keep that to perfect because it doesn't matter. Everything else is going to just sort of be what I would normally run. We'll switch safety car off for this one because we don't really want to be running behind the safety car. We just want this to be a fairer test as possible. We're going to run, I don't know, 106 AI. Doesn't really matter too much about the AI for this one. Car damage, we'll actually switch that off for this test. Actually, will that stop punctures? Maybe we'll switch it on to standard just in case it stops punctures. And then everything else again, pretty much as we use tire temperature, surface and carcass simulation. Okay, let's get on with it then. Let's see how we get on for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 100% race, which I'm not sure I'm ready for. That's a lot of laps in one race, especially just for one video. But hey, we're committed to the cause of seeing how long these inters will last. There we go, raining as we hope for. Let's get into the race start then and try and look after these tyres as much as we can. So the game is saying, no way Jose. At least on the Brazilian Grand Prix, the game is saying, you will need to stop, my friend. It thinks one set of inters could maybe last 41 laps. We've got 71 laps in this race. Judging on that, I'm thinking it's quite unlikely we can make the inters last. But hey, we're going to look after them. And we're going to see. We're actually starting on pole position as well. I am just going to load whatever time trial setup I've got saved, ready to go from my 2-player career mode with Team at Marduk. There we go. Let's just load this. I'll just tweak the brakes because that's what you need to do. The most recent update, I don't know, let's just go 52 for now. Other than that, pretty standard stuff, really. It's just, yeah, I mean, doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter for this test. Right, come on then. Starting on pole position as Lewis Hamilton. And hopefully, again, nice easy start. We don't want to burn the rears on the start at all. Already thinking about tyre conservation on the start. Very little wheel spin. We've got that white Red Bull behind us. Bit of wheel spin there, though, but we're okay. Off to a good start. Let's just try and take it easy on them. AI, of course, are going to follow the strategy we just saw there. They'll probably all one stop halfway through the race. So let's see if they can be kind of sort of similar to us. I'd be interested to see if they're much faster when they do pit. But right, well, time to get our kid gloves on. Look after these tyres best we can. Okay, little sit rep then. 10 laps into this 71 lap race. And as you can see on the right hand side, we're actually doing a really good job. We're using less than 1% tyre per lap. Worst case scenario, we're on the rears, rear right. I'm being very, very careful throughout every single corner for these tyres. Try not to lock up anywhere. Try not to wheel spin anywhere. Try not to use too much of the tyre for the fast corners. I really do feel like a modern day F1 driver, really being delicate with these tyres. We're just about to be quicker than... we're just about able to be quicker than Max. Only just though. We do need some good laps. To be able to drive well to be quicker than him. So you can see we've barely got a gap after the 10 laps. This almost feels like more the United States Grand Prix than the Turkish Grand Prix. But at the moment, we're doing enough. At the moment, our tyres will be less than 70% worn by the end of the race, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. They'll be pretty worn, but of course we're going to dry up towards the end as well, so we can simulate the Turkish Grand Prix a bit more. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. But for now, we're doing a good job. Can we keep this up as the tyres wear? I don't know, but at the moment, doing enough. Okay, another little sit right then as we come on to lap 20 of this 71 lap race. Still a similar sort of gap to Hamilton, to Verstappen. Sorry, I did actually let him close up at one point. I've started adapting now to what I'm seeing on the right hand side. You can see the right hand side of the tyres, 2 right tyres, are wearing slightly more than the left. That's because it's a anti-clockwise circuit, so there's a lot more of these type of corners, the left-handers, particularly these that are traction zones. So you see I'm being so cautious, they're so gradual on the power to really give those tyres a bit more of a chance. I'm still doing well though, still only got 16% wear through 20 laps, still less than 1% tyre wear per lap, which is what I'm going to need to keep up to be able to get to the end. As we approach the 30th lap then in this race, getting towards the halfway point as well, I'll talk to you a little bit about how to manage your tyres and what I'm doing here to try and keep my tyre wear under control. So first of all, Obviously, you don't want to lock up a wheel spin, just like I've done just there. Wheel spin and lock-ups are obviously going to burn the tyre a little bit more, so if you avoid those as much as possible, that's quite an obvious one. But if you're not locking up or wheel spinning, and you're still struggling with tyre wear, what could be causing it? Well, first of all, the thing to note is that the quicker your car's going, the more it can burn the tyres, the more it can use the tyres. So if the higher speed turns is where you'll get almost all of your tyre wear. Lower speed turns use very little, and as long as you're not locking up a wheel spinning, which of course happens more in the lower speed turns. It's really all about the high speed corners for a start. Also, if you're on a pad, you're probably okay, because the pad you can't turn more than the car will allow, more than the speed and the grip conditions will allow. But on a wheel, you can turn more than you should do. But as in understeer, you can literally force understeer, where you're turning more at a certain speed, especially high speeds, you're turning more than the tyres will allow. Think about on motorway speeds in real life, highway speeds. You don't turn the wheel nearly as much as you do around town. It's the same in a Formula 1 car, and it'll be the same if you're using a wheel at home. So be careful you're not understeering the car and just using too much wheel lock. For high speed corners like this, like I'm barely turning the wheel, you don't need to use much. Bit obvious with that one because that one's nice and easy flat, but for some of the other higher speed turns, Russell's getting nicely out of the way thankfully, but he'll probably let both of us through. Yeah, so just be careful not to do that. If you're burning the fronts way more than the rears, you're probably just steering too much into the corner. Okay, Max Verstappen is now into the pits then. At almost the exact halfway point in this race. Perez pitted last lap. I assume Bottas will box this lap as well. Maybe not. Maybe he's waiting for me to box. Who knows? But no, Bottas does box. So, everybody now has pit. Looks like Alonso hasn't, but everyone will now pit. My main rivals have pitted behind. We're going to get a bit more traffic now. Let's see how our pace now compares to those cars that are now going to be on fresher tyres. And I've also pulled the pin a little bit the last couple of laps. Just gone to 3 or 4 tenths quicker. Using a little bit more tyre to do so, but trying to do it in a conservative way because I knew that now would be the time they'd pit. So I decided to push a little bit. See if we can just use a bit more, a tiny bit more tyre. I need to use, I don't know, less than 10% more tyre than I am doing now. See if we can maybe keep that gap up to Verstappen. You see 20.5 seconds at the moment. Let's keep an eye on that, see if that comes down by much.
You're doing well out there, keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
Okay, Jeff just told me only 10 more minutes of rain. I'd be interested to see if it does drop then. I've got it on perfect prediction, so it should do. And also then how will that affect the tyres? At the moment, we're still doing exactly the same as we were at the start. I was interested to see actually, in this tyre model, whether we would get less wear or more wear as the fuel wore off. Of course, in real life, the tyres wear more the more fuel you got on board, the heavier the car is. I always seem to go deep every time I'm talking to you into this corner. Because obviously the car's just heavier through the corners. And even though you're doing less corner speed than you would be with less fuel, the car's just heavier. It's putting more load through the tyres, through those higher speed corners in particular. But I wasn't sure if in this game perhaps it would just be based purely on corner speed, not necessarily on Schumacher is being lapped, not necessarily on weight of the car. But at the moment, it is feeling a bit easier to manage, if I'm being honest. I was having to be really quite careful before. And in answer to my previous question, I do think this game simulates a load on the tyres from car weight quite well. I'm definitely not irrespective of corner speed. I'm definitely taking it less easy on the tyres now than I was at the start of the race. So through here, for example, I'm just being a little bit more blasé. I'm definitely getting a bit more wheel spin than I used to. There, full throttle there, which is a bit earlier than before. Of course, that could be relative just purely to car weight though. But I'm definitely taking it less easy. And actually, we're doing better on the tyres. There you go. That just shows you how less easy I'm taking it. We just got a tenth and a half up first sector by pushing it a little bit harder. And it's not affecting the tyres. I'm not pushing to the limit by any means. But I'm certainly a lot more closer to my natural race pace now than I was at the start of the race. At the start of the race, I was really taking it easy to try and not burn those tyres, particularly through these left-hand corners where it's burning the outside tyres. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't need to. So clearly the game does actually simulate load through the tyres quite well. Another fast lap of the race for me there. So now actually quicker than Max Verstappen if I can keep running this pace. But the dry is coming. I don't know how it'll be. 42% at the moment. We would very easily make it to the end on one set of tyres actually. Very easily. 51 laps, 42%. So let's just keep it up now. It's going to be all about the dry conditions. How do these tyres, how do these worn tyres handle when it starts to dry up? Okay, it is now starting to brighten up. You can see the clouds in the distance there, a little bit lighter. Jeff keeps reminding me, let's ask him now. Weather report.
Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Okay, that's all he's saying. But that means it is still raining. Sorry, it's basically stopped raining now is basically what that means. But it has actually. There's a few droplets on the screen, but look past those. I can't see any falling droplets anymore. Don't know why there's something dropped us on the screen, but it has now stopped raining. Okay, Jeff telling me to check my MFD. That means, yes, he's recommending we now box to soft. It's actually not too bad. We've still got a bit of rain on our visor, or whatever you call it, on the camera. So, okay, DRS enabled. It is definitely now ready for slick tyres, but it still looks quite wet. We're going okay. Tyres not overheating just yet, but the AI will start to box this lap. We're still closing in on Ricciardo. Of course, they're all on the same tyres for now, just newer versions of them. Verstappen has closed us in. I expect they'll all box this lap. I'll be surprised if they didn't. Normally, as soon as that happens, they do box. We're going to get just over 10 laps to try and hold on to this race win. This is going to get spicy, I think. We're going to have a 35-second gap. But if it is bone dry by the end, that will disappear in no time at all when everybody does indeed box now. Ricciardo boxes, so he's going to be a lap down on us now, which would be interesting if he decides to unlap us when he's going to be much faster on his on his newer tyres. We're actually not dropped too much pace. Max Verstappen, oh god, did do a fastest lap of the race. So at the moment, we're going okay. We'll just be faster if we boxed. Again, not overheating. It's when they start overheating is when we'll be in real trouble. Now, is Schumacher going to let us go? No. He is, maybe. Oh, he's still there. What's he doing? That's not what we need, Mick. Come on. He's in the wall. He deserves it. He deserves it. Okay, Latifi's letting us go. He might regret doing that. No, we're going to... Oh, I don't mean to do that, but we're going to stay out, Jeff. We're going to stay out. 30 seconds, that's all. Max is going to get us very easily. The fact that Latifi is all over us, Max is going to get us easily. 52% tyre wear now. Still fine. Probably still make it to the end okay on tyres. It will just be the temps. Once they start overheating, that's when we're in real serious trouble. Now, Latifi's gone for it here. Will he be fast enough to pull away far enough from us in these couple of corners here so he doesn't get blue flagged? I think he will, you know. He's gone. That's how much quicker even a Williams car is. DRS on Inters. That feels a bit weird. 25 seconds to Max Verstappen. Okay, we're in a spot of trouble here. There's no way we're going to win this race. Absolutely 0% chance. I don't feel that slow, but they're just so much faster. Bottas, 47 seconds away. Perez, 50 seconds away. Can we still hold on to a podium? Oh, I don't know. There's still a long, long way to go. Still 10 laps to go. I think we're really going to struggle here. I don't think we're going to do it. But, let's see. Tyres still overheating for now. As Daniel Ricciardo is unlapping himself round the outside. But he's going to immediately let us through because he realises he's getting blue flag. Mazepin unlaps himself from Ricciardo. This is going to be interesting. But I tell you what, though. Max Verstappen has done a 109.4. And there we go. Look at that front right now. Overheated through there. Now is the point where we're... Yeah, now there's loads less grip. Now we're starting to overheat. I think we're going to struggle so much. We've still got so long to go in this race. Mazepin's still alongside us. But we're going to try to do the best race we can by using ERS. I don't want to let these guys through particularly. Carlo's going to get some DRS. He better break a million times later than us. Tyres still overheating slightly. Mazepin as well. Both rather outside while we were getting it stopped. I didn't even see our last lap time there. 108.5 for Max Verstappen. So, between those two cars, or behind those two cars, we've got Bottas, who's about to overtake us full position. We're also being unlapped left, right and centre. It's not ideal for our lap times, but it's not like we'll be doing fantastic lap times anyway. Here comes Bottas. He's now making all them back off because he's lapping them. This is for position, of course. He's not going to back off here. We're going to steal a bit of slipstream on him, though, just because we can. And down to P3 now, still on the podium, but Perez, I don't know, he's there somewhere. Only a second back. He'll be getting us any second now, and then we're off the podium. Ricciardo now down to 45 seconds. We've only got 5 laps to go. Oh, there's an outside chance, but I still think it's unlikely. Is Perez here? He'll probably get us here. Yeah, we're going to let him go. There's no point battling him. Tyres are not overheating nearly as much as I thought they were going to. I thought they'd all be on fire right now, and we'd be crawling around. You see the overheat through the corners, but then they correct themselves quite quickly. Russell might back off here. No, he doesn't. Fair enough. He's a lot faster than me. Def's still desperate for us to box. You can see in the front right there, it does overheat, but it quite quickly comes back down to temperature for some reason. So clearly tyre temps, I mean, they're not that critical anyway in this game compared to real life, but clearly they're a lot less critical than they would be in real life with running these tyres. Only 40 seconds now to Ricciardo. I tell you what, we might still be able to steal some points on this. Okay, coming up now up to the last lap of the race, and that is for position, and he's going to... Oh no, he's backed off. Max Verstappen's about to lap us, and he's called Daniel Ricciardo to back off. What a spicy, spicy little moment that was. But I think Ricciardo's going to get us anyway. We've got lots of ERS to use. He's going to get DRS, of course. Verstappen might even get away a little bit here. Oh, we got DRS as well. Max Verstappen. We're going to have to unlap ourselves again. Sorry, Max. This is full position here. Where's Daniel Ricciardo? There he is. Surely he's going to back off for Max, but not at the moment. He's actually just finished the race. If we both dropped behind him, we would have finished the race, of course. We would have got a lap down and would have hold on to... Oh, this has all gone wrong. That does guarantee us P6, of course, because the cars behind have now finished the race. I didn't think about that. We could have done one less lap if we didn't re-overtake him. But I think Ricciardo was slightly ahead of him. If we managed to just both be behind Max Verstappen there, if Max Verstappen didn't run out of ERS for the run to the line, we would have kept P4, sorry, because we would have been lapped and the race would have been finished. Oh, as if that's just happened. Unbelievable. Well, I'm glad this 100% race had a bit of a spicy finish. We are now just cruising round to the finish line. We do just lose P4 in the spiciest of fashions, but we're still going to be P5. And I tell you what, to say we've not done a stop in this race, P5 is actually not too bad at all. Verstappen's almost catching us on his slowdown lap, because that's how slow we are. But I really started pushing those last couple of laps just to desperately try and stay ahead of Ricciardo, but couldn't quite do it. I was thinking maybe could I defend on the last lap of the race, but no, he was just going to be too quick. He was just going to be too quick. There was no way back from us. But there we go. Let's have a quick look at the tyre wear before it disappears. There we go. 71% wear, and we had 71 laps in this race. Even with the last 10 laps being dry, we did 1% wear per lap. So if that was a full wet race or a full intermediate race, we'd have been totally fine to do a zero stop, to not stop in this game, which surprises me actually. I thought we weren't going to be able to do it, but even with 10 laps of dry, it was still a zero stop, but not the fastest way to do it, let's be honest. We had dominated that race as we came in. And 108.3 Max Verstappen did in the end, whereas our best was a 17.0. Almost 9 seconds there. Let's have a quick look then, not on the standings, at the race director. Let's see our lap times. So you see they're just cruising at the beginning, doing sort of 18s, 19s, around there. Mid-18s is probably where we were comfortable at. Random 17 there when I just pushed for a lap. Back to mid-18s, where I was comfortable. And kind of into the 17s. That's the point there I started pushing a bit more. Lap 35, around there. A couple of laps before that, actually. Lap 34 was when I started pushing. So you've gone from mid-18s, 77, 77, 79. I felt like that was the point that I could push just a bit more and still have enough life in the tyres. You can see how much time I gained just by pushing. And consistently in the 17s then, despite the tyres starting to wear. 76, 17.2 I got down to. 72.65. And then, 17.0 even I got down to. And then it stopped raining for, actually, not quite then. We were still sort of hovering the 17s, but it did start to sort of dry up. And the last 10 laps, it was basically dry. That's when they boxed, was these last 10 laps of the race. That it was then dry. And you see then we were back into the 19s. Well, mid-18s. 17.6 penultimate lap. That's when we really pushed on. But, of course, that would have been at the sacrifice of some tyre temps as well. And we'd have probably struggled more. But we probably could have done mid-18s quite comfortably. So, not insanely slower. Maybe a second lap slower. But, of course, Mr. Verstappen was doing similar to us, really, till he boxed. Then was going a bit quicker, low 17s, a bit more comfortably. And then, of course, onto soft tyres. Then was straight into, below 1 minute 10. So, there we go, guys. Well, it turns out you definitely can do a whole race on intermediate tyres. They don't visually change, unfortunately. They don't go slick as I might have hoped, but realistically that was never going to happen. But hopefully in future games that'll be a possibility. But P5 from a zero stop that went dry at the end. I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.